There and Podcast with your host, James Gill. That's me and my buddy, Joe Hill. And we got our special guest, Nicholas Gunn.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, my friend.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
No problem. The last time we talked, we had a decent conversation about your life, what you're all about, and I'm very impressed. Had a man of 18 years old, folks. Young guy, does a lot of things for the community. Why don't you give a small, brief summary of yourself?
Yeah, I'm a 18-year-old graduate from Berrien Springs High School. I am now attending Andrews University to pursue political science and hopes to graduating and being out to be able to be in the community more and more of a political way, whatever that takes me. I'm also a firefighter cadet for St. Joseph Township, Station 2. I'm a writer for the Benton Spirit community newspaper and Moody on the Market. And I have my own YouTube channel called Nick Eats, where I go around to local businesses and try and highlight different things that are happening in the community. And yeah, that's a little bit about me.
So how did you get yourself started, man? What drove you to do things like this? Because that's a lot of stuff for an 18-year-old to be involved in. Well, that's a lot of stuff.
That's more I've ever done.
Yeah.
Oh, you're telling me. I mean, I wish I could take some time off.
Man, I played sports
years back and do that again.
I played sports and video games when I was 18. I wasn't a firefighter on that one.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I'm on a football team, wrestling, wrestling, all that. Golf. I did golf for a little bit. I started trying to get out there more in the community by when I started my YouTube channel. Me and my friends, again, we're out in COVID, trying to find some stuff to do. We didn't want to stay in the house.
Yeah.
So when things lightened up a little bit, when it was safe to go out, we decided that we were going to make a YouTube channel to highlight local businesses and try and show that how diverse our community is. So me and my friends, a group of us from Berrien Springs High School, we're all a pretty diverse group of people. We just decided to go out in our community and eat, have fun, try different experiences, all while having a diverse group of friends around us to just have fun.
Now, that podcast for food, did you do that just in Berrien Springs area, or did you do all Southwest Michigan?
Yep, Michiana area.
Really?
We did a few of my Asian friends. We went to Zing Fusion in Mishawaka. So they're telling me how to eat sushi and everything. My Latino friend, he asked me to go out to Salsas in Mishawaka. We went there. He told me a thing or two about Latino food and their cuisine, and we're just trying to come together with a group of people and have a great time no matter what we're doing. So, yeah.
That's like I said, that's impressive, dude.
So on.
Go ahead.
On that, keep going with that kind of YouTube channel. Did you do it live? Did the people get mad that you're doing it live, or anything like that?
No, I didn't really have I haven't had a conversation on doing it. Usually, sometimes I talk to the owner before I do it, but I also like to surprise people. And at the end, they come up to me like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I'm telling them, and they're like, "Oh, that's great. Thank you for coming here, and everything." Sometimes they've seen the channel, so I love that I could go into and highlight our community with my friends.
Or mom and pa shops type stuff.
Yeah.
So you weren't going to like chain type restaurants and saying this is what this food is. Like the new Texas Corral that's opened up. Yeah. You didn't go somewhere like that.
Well,
none of the top chain food, just small business.
We do small businesses. We have done a big chain. Like I've never had Chick-fil-A. A year ago, I never had Chick-fil-A before, and my friend's like, Nick, like, you haven't had Chick-fil-A before. So
I was going to say, wait, but I'm thinking your age, you're 18, so that kind of makes a little bit of sense if you don't go out that way, because there's only two places you can get Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, so we end up going to Chick-fil-A. I got to try it. It was great. I love the chicken sandwiches. So then later, again, in COVID, I'm thinking, how can we be out more in the community? and I started interviewing local officials. So I was able to meet with the city manager of St. Joseph, John Hodgkins,
Yeah.
and I was able to walk the bluff with him, and he was able to tell me about the great things that he's doing in the city of St. Joseph and what he plans to do more frequently. Talked about how funding is implemented throughout the city. He talked about how tax dollars are being brought into the city. Talked about how we can increase with local businesses, and he also mostly talked about, for me, what I wanted to talk about is what can we do as citizens, as people who live in this community. How can we be a part of bringing businesses in here? How can we be a part of helping this community out? So he was able to tell us all that. And
Are you sure you're 18?
yeah, yeah, I am. Yeah, I am 18.
You got a lot on your plate.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, what is one of your main how should I say it? Your main goals in life, as far as being in the line of stuff that you put out there for the community. What is your main goal in life?
My main goal in life is to help as many people as I can. No matter what I'm doing, I'm always thinking about how can I do something to help somebody that's help my brother or sister that's standing by me. How can I make somebody feel good today? How can I put an impact on somebody else's life? And that just keeps me moving every day. Yeah, I just love helping other people.
I'll go with your question a little bit more deeper. Are you just want to stay in the community after a couple of years, or do you want to go branch out and go maybe to Chicago regional or another state or worldwide to help people?
Yeah, I would love to do that. But I love Berrien County. I love our community.
I know how you feel on that.
Yeah,
I love Berrien County.
Yeah, I mean, when I was deciding on what college I was going to, my dad, he's like saying like you got all these options, like why you want to go to Andrews? Like I'm like I love to hear the people are extremely nice. Everybody, like out of all the colleges that I had applied to and I got accepted to, Andrews was the only one who had like somebody like calling me, texting me like, Nick, how you doing? Like Nick, Nick, do you want to stop by the office today? Do you want to talk? Do you want to call me? And then when I walked in, my advisor, he had like some of the like newspapers I've written and like different pictures that I had sent in and everything. And I walked into his office for the first time and like I seen like a pile up of like different things that I've done throughout the community. And I'm like what are you doing? Like he's like, oh no, I'm sending this to a department to like show him like the different things you're doing in the community. And like months pass on, and he calls me up and tells me like that I got a full ride scholarship and for leadership and dedication to volunteerism throughout the community. So, and it was the first time Andrews University ever gave a scholarship out like this.
Really?
And, yeah.
And you got it.
Yeah. So
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Congrats.
Yeah. So I was shocked, and then I started thinking like, oh, like that's what he was doing this whole time. Like he was trying to help me out, and he's a great advisor. And even today, I have met up with him today, and it's always about like how can we help you and how can Andrews be a part of your experience that you're going to carry out to the world. So being a world changer. So wow. Yeah.
I know you have 2 phones. Are you that busy?
No, a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit.
Dang, I didn't even notice you had 2 phones.
Yeah,
Why are you staring at the guy?
No, I'm just being observant. That's basically what I'm doing. I noticed that, and when somebody has 2 phones, it's either
Well, yeah. In our days,
yeah. So you're big into religion. Mm-hmm. We talked about that when we met up. What are the things that you do for the religious aspect of life?
Yeah. So I go to multiple churches throughout the community, and I had created a after-school Bible study at Berrien Springs High School. We had just over 120 members. We'll be meeting every day after school. 120 kids coming together, different races, different religions, all come together for one reason: is to bring people together and show love throughout the community. And I mean, we were able to do volunteer experiences in the city of Benton Harbor with handing out bottles of water throughout the community, and it was an awesome time. Like we get to just pretty much come together. Like, you don't see that as often as we should. People coming together, spreading love, different race, different religion, not caring who you are, but we can all pray together, sit up and pray together, and I love it. I love having that experience with all the people that I got to touch and all the brothers and sisters I were able to make. So that was something that I love, and I'm doing a few Bible studies at PMC Church and on Andrews University's campus. I'm a group leader, and I get to mentor and teach some of the young kids that are coming up at Andrews. So, wow, yeah.
Have you ever done that much in the community? I haven't. I'm very impressed. I just want to say that out loud. My first thoughts when I met you because of the incident you were in this past summer. I didn't want to get just
like
into
2
that
months ago.
because I knew it's more to you than just that. Anything that you want to say to the people that inspire them to be level-headed like you, to keep things on a positive note? Is there anything you want to say about that?
I just always think of don't let someone have a control over your life to be able to put you in bad positions. Don't let anyone have control over you to make you feel bad, make you feel down. Always stay level-headed and just stay in a positive mood. I mean, people have done things to try and sabotage me, to make me feel bad, to make me feel down about myself. But I think I just don't let anybody have that control over you but God, and let people know that God is your friend, and as long as you walk with God, you'll be all right.
All right.
That's deep. Sorry. I felt what you were saying, though. I mean, that is
Guys,
deep.
if you're listening,
it's nice. Yeah. That's a
Nick is
good way of looking at it.
Nick is very, very involved in the community, and there should be more people like him around to do that kind of thing. Go ahead.
To go with that, the speech and all that you just said, is that something you do more uplifting kind of stuff at your Bible studies and stuff like that?
I mean,
do a positive.
Yeah, most of the time. I mean, I use scriptures sometimes, but also I like to just be a mentor most of the time. Just to be someone, a shoulder you can lean on, to someone you can just talk to, and how does someone uplift you? I know that everybody in my Bible studies don't believe in God. I mean, some people are part of the LGBT community. Some people are not living in the best way of a Christian. I don't even live the best way as a Christian sometimes. And as a young person, for me to help mentor people and be a part of their walk with Christ is something great. So I mean, yeah, I just love doing it. Just to help people. I mean, and we're not even just talking about God. We could be talking about how to be a good human.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
I mean, some kids around your age are not really doing all the stuff you're doing. Mm-hmm. They are maybe just goofing around, drinking, smoking, doing anything they want to do.
Yeah.
You're being positive and being a good role model. Mm-hmm. But how about some of
Your friends are out there that pretty much do all this kind of stuff that you are not supposed to be doing at 18.
Right.
I mean, how do you approach someone like that, or do you not approach them?
No, the thing is, you gotta approach everybody with love. I'm trying to think of the scripture right now. For God so loved us, who should be against us? God is with us. So I'm like that. Like my first time I did a Bible study, I just simply used John 3:16.
Yeah.
I was like, for God so loved the world. So I'm saying like, I tried to infuse like, we first started off with 5 minutes. So I'm saying God gave his only begotten son. Do you have 5 minutes to be with us? Do you have 5 minutes after school to meet with us? We take so much time to go to our football practice. We rush to football practice, and that's pretty much how I started my Bible study. I was in football practice. I was asking one of my buddies, like, when do you make time for God? That's the question for everybody. Like, when do you make time for God in your life? And we're like, me and my buddies were like, he goes to church on Saturdays. He was telling me, I make time for God on the Sabbath. On Saturday, I make time for God. And I'm talking to somebody else. They go to church on Sundays. I'm like, I make time for God on Sundays. Like that's my time. That's the time for God. And I'm like, can we make time for God every day after school? Like we rush to class. We rush to all these appointments and these meetings. And like let's make some time for God after school. And then a lot of people are like, you're right. Like I got 5 minutes for God after school. So I'm gonna head down there and pray with you guys. I'm gonna head down there, listen to everybody and learn more, try and become a better person in Jesus.
So you played on the football team, you said?
Yep, football. Yep, we're undefeated last year. Coach, Berrien Springs. Yep, yeah. Coach Uzelac was our coach. So, yeah, great
St.
team.
Old coach.
Yeah. Yep.
Now with the world the way it is, man, and teenagers, and I mean even adults living quote unquote not good life, not even good life, just living like, say for instance, chasing things that they don't need to chase, like fashion or attention or things of that nature. How do you approach those people and get them to actually sit down and listen just for 5 minutes, like you said?
Yeah, pretty much same way. I mean, I don't wear like the most fashionable. I would never spend so much money on shoes. Like I just bought I bought a pair of Jordans before, but I just bought one recently. My friend, he was having I'm Mr. Ben Harbor, and he was he was running the runner-ups, and he was having his class, like his going out party for college and everything. It was a shoe party. Yeah. So he was like, Nick, like you come in here with some Jordans, like. Don't come in here with no dress shoes. So I'm like, all right, I gotta go out. I gotta buy some nice pair of shoes. So I end up buying some Jordans. But I mean, look at me. I don't wear like fancy clothes or any of that. Like I don't really care for it. But I mean, people. I think people can be people. A lot of people like fancy stuff. But I approach everybody the same way. Love over everything. That's what it's all about. So
that's what John Lennon said.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that thing right there is probably one of the most humble things that I've heard a person say. Just because you don't have to have those fancy clothes and fancy things just to be good to people.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter how you dress, as long as you're good to people and good to yourself.
Mm-hmm. But you're still gonna have those arrogant people that are pretty much just want to put anybody down. Or you're gonna have those people that look at him and think, "Oh, you're all this. You're Mr. Ben Harbor. You're a firefighter. You're all this stuff." They're gonna try any possible way to put this man down, but he's gonna still kill him with love.
And that's the key right there.
That is.
That's the key.
I mean, that's the best way of going in life.
Yeah, I mean, recently, I've been meeting some of the nicest people on campus. Like this, I'm a freshman, and I was telling this kid, and he was in my dorm, and I had hung up some of the awards and different things that I've gotten, and he's telling me how good of a person I am, and I'm like no, calm down, and he's like look at this, you're such a great person, and he's telling me how great I am, and everything. This is the first time I ever talked to this guy, and I'm like no, stop, so then I'm telling him I'm not the most smartest guy that you'll meet, and I'm telling him I'm not the smartest and everything, and I got to start making more time for important things in my life, and I forgot the saying. He's from he has a Spanish culture. He has a Latino culture, and he was telling me the saying that they use about pretty much empowering yourself. You can do anything that you put your mind to. And we're talking about. I'm saying man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to take these classes and be a student and everything. He was like, you got this. You just know that God is with you, and you're gonna do everything, and you're gonna be successful in life. And I just felt so loved that this is my first time ever talking to this guy, and him to the show love and appreciation for me and who he's never met. This is my first time talking to him. I see him. He just got done playing basketball, and I invited him up to my dorm just to talk, and just to meet new people. Like I see he's a freshman, I'm a freshman. Let's talk. Let's have a good time. He's a super great person. So
For being there at that school, that is
one awesome school.
Yeah.
That's
Because there are
very
people
diverse
from all
person.
over the world,
All over the world,
in
yeah.
that place.
Yeah, I mean, I was just so I had a career opportunity fair yesterday. It's my first like event for my YouTube channel. It was a career and opportunity fair. I had different local businesses there to try and hire people in the community and get more employment. And I had Andrews University there, and he had just got the diversity report, and I believe it was like 25.5% white. It was 25.3% black. It was 13% Latino. The Virgin Islands, the Cancuns, the Asian population. Like it was so many different things. I'm like, wow. Like he was showing me on the phone. He was like, look at all this like diversity, and like they were so excited. And I'm like, so they were so excited to see that there was so many others. Like it was so many others. Like
It's amazing.
yeah, it's like
That is one awesome school.
yeah, and I mean, I'm so happy to be a part of it. To see so many people who don't look like me, to see so many people who do look like me, and to become friends with them, and just to know and see everybody's walk of life, and that's just amazing. I love seeing people who have different experiences as me. Even people who do look like me, they all have different experiences than me. They're all from over the world, and I love my roommate. He's from Africa. I'm going to sleep at night. We're in the bed, and I'm sitting there. I'm I'm asking him a random question, like, so what's Africa like? Like, and he's like, this again, like he's like, so he's telling me all the great things about Africa. He's saying like, yeah, you got to come to Africa sometime, and I'm like, yeah, I would love to come to Africa, and we're just having these conversations, and I got to show him around St. Joe today. He got to go to the beach today for the very first time. He loved it. So it was a great time. So
Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
So you plan in the future? You plan on traveling more?
yeah.
And what's one of the first stops you want to go to?
One of the first stops that I want to go to.
First countries.
First country, yeah. First,
Africa.
Yeah, Africa.
That's-
That's continent. No, that's continent.
I know, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
he's
anywhere-
been talking about
Yeah.
Africa and his
Lots of
roommate.
countries
Yeah.
in that continent.
Yeah, the continent. Yeah. I'll see a country that I want to go to. I think he's from Nigeria, so I like to go to Nigeria.
What was his name?
His name is Tamelo.
Tamelo?
Yeah, Tamelo.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. No.
It sounded like that for a second.
Tamelo.
That's what I asked Moses.
So he's he gives you that I don't know that calmness about traveling and going to different countries.
Yeah.
Is there any countries that you don't want to go to?
Any country that I don't want to go to?
Because there's some countries out there that
What are countries you don't want to go to while he thinks about it? Is there a country you don't want to go to?
yeah, I don't want to go to Iran for some reason. I mean, I wouldn't mind going to it, but just I don't know, I think the things that you see all the time, and you shouldn't follow that. They give Iran a bad name, and you don't want to go there. You know.
No, actually, I want to go to every country if I could, or
Yeah,
every
if I
continent,
could,
every country if I could.
would, but
I just want to experience everybody's culture. That is the best thing.
I mean, I guess if it's a country at war right now, I wouldn't want to go
Exactly.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
well, if
Or
that's
if-
that's
shit's
what I was
going
doing.
on, I don't want to go where and stuff I'm going to get shot at or
Yeah,
something.
that's what I was going for.
Or like I don't want to end up like Brittany Griner or something. Like I can't come
Well,
back home.
we did a podcast.
Well,
on
just
that.
don't have anything in your bag.
Right.
Exactly.
We just talked about that too.
Yeah, we did. We had a long discussion on that one. Oh man, what do you do for fun?
What I do for fun?
Do you have fun?
Yeah.
I mean, do you have time for fun?
Yeah.
School, firefighting,
Yeah,
church,
Something I do.
saving cats in a tree.
Something I do for fun. I mean, I make Nikki the videos that I make.
That's your
That's fun.
pastime?
Yeah, I love
That
doing.
is kind of cool.
Yeah, I love going out. I mean, it doesn't even feel like I'm making a video. It's like me just going out with a bunch of my friends, going out having fun, and at the same time, like we're also highlighting businesses.
We're also eating.
Yeah, we're
You're-
eating.
You're,
Yeah.
you're going there to eat.
Yeah.
I can see that being kind of fun.
So it's a great.
I'm gonna follow you on that channel.
right, cool.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
Actually,
And
it seems interesting.
For those that are listening, follow Nick on some of those channels because
yeah, I mean that's awesome.
That's some great
I
stuff
never really
right
thought
there.
about that. A YouTube video channel just about local stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought about other. I thought about
huge,
other
though.
stuff.
That's huge. I mean, a lot of people forget about the local businesses around here that struggled during COVID,
Right.
and now they have a chance to get back into the swing of things.
That's more
They-
what. Go ahead.
They need that publicity, the PR,
Yeah.
to get the people back in their shops.
I don't know. That's where I mostly go to when I'm on vacation or anywhere. I go to
Yeah.
mom and Paul shops.
Yeah.
I don't
Same
go
here.
to chain restaurants.
yeah.
I go to mom and
Well,
Paul.
I take it back. Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't.
Depends on what city I'm in.
Yeah.
But if
Well,
I'm driving along and I see a little diner,
I really do
the
enjoy
best food.
enjoy like small restaurants, small businesses because
yeah.
it goes right back into the community.
Yeah.
Now, as far as communities go, you see a lot of thriving communities in this town, businesses in this town. What about Benton Harbor?
Yeah.
What can we do to make that place what it was back in the '60s? And because it was beautiful back then.
Oh yeah.
It was a beautiful town.
Actually, that was the best place to live. Actually, to be honest.
Yeah.
St. Joe was the worst place to live back in the day.
I heard,
'cause-
yeah.
and Benton Harbor had the nice mansions and
Oh yeah, they had it was
Victorian
beautiful.
houses. And,
But I mean, just a little fact. I mean, back during the '60s, I mean, a fight started out at a local roller rink, and it was between, of course, whites and blacks and of that nature. But at the end, three cops got in the car and shot a black man in front of his yard and got away with it. That's when all the big riots started to go form, and it drove all the white people out, the people with the money out of the community. Totally scared. So we don't have any generational wealth in Benton Harbor right now, and the ones that do have money, it's not enough. How do we go about changing some of that stuff?
Yeah.
Where does it start? Where do you start? I mean, does it start with education, or
that's a deep question.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I've been.
just from your point?
Yeah,
of view?
from my point of view, I've been actually I've been helping with this PhD dissertation with Chaplain Danielle Pilgrim. She's getting her PhD and she's doing her dissertation on the Twin Cities, on Benton Harbor and St. Joseph. And I mean, everyone we've talked to, city leaders, different city managers, different people, leaders in the community, and people in the community are saying it starts with education. You have to be able to bring back our schools in Benton Harbor. And, I mean, if there's a way to get funding off of the students who are going to other schools to have that go back to their home, where their home is. I mean, because that's taking away a lot of funding. I mean, yeah.
All that open school access, all the open school and stuff. So
Yeah.
that's kind of hurting a lot of communities like Benton Harbor,
And even
Eau Claire and all that.
even with the charter schools, there's a large amount of upcoming charter schools opening up throughout the city of Benton Harbor and the community of Benton Harbor. And I'm seeing so it's kids leaving the high school again, and the money isn't going to the high school. And I mean, even I've been going to the high school more recently, and at Benton Harbor High School, and I'm walking around the high school, and I'm meeting different people, and I'm seeing different things that are messed up, like different flooring issues, and I'm seeing stuff, and I'm like something needs to be done, that needs to be fixed, and
that is an old school. Though.
yeah, it's old, and
That's an old school.
even different things throughout that school that it needs to be updated. And I mean, I'm thinking I think that there needs to be a way, a policy implemented where they can receive funding off of the students who are being outsourced to other districts.
So you think it starts with schooling, both of you?
And
it
if
starts
this-
home too. It starts at home too. I mean, not saying anybody's a bad parent, but it does start at home. And a lot of the homes nowadays don't have both parents in that household. So, with that being said, if you don't have both parents in that household, I mean, the mom, the dad is the father figure, mom takes care of the other stuff, discipline is incorporated and all that.
I think a single parent can run things.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is 2 parents are better. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. I think you raised my daughter just fine with one parent.
Well, okay, that's fine. But you know what I mean?
I know what you mean with it. What you're going with it.
You
what
have
you're
both of
doing
your
it.
parents, right?
Yeah. There's days I wish sometimes, but yeah.
Yeah, I didn't grow up. My dad wasn't around.
But, I mean, I see what you guys are saying. You're saying it starts with home, schooling. It's a tough call. I mean, how you can't. I say it's combined of everything, but the rule of all evil is money, and I think it helps to bring in something with a good aspect. Like the Boys and Girls Club in Benton Harbor. Perfect. I mean, it's great for kids to go somewhere to do something instead of them doing something stupid on the streets.
Yeah.
I mean, they need something more in the community for kids to go do stuff. I say. I mean, it starts with the community of stuff to do things. I mean,
The
St.
community
Joe.
as a whole needs to be involved, and in some cases they're not.
And you can't reflect on the past.
Right.
I mean,
Can't
yes,
point fingers.
the town has a bad rep with everything that's happened in its life. I mean, people still to this day talk about that riot.
Oh, back in the
90s or 2000,
2003, I think it was.
Yeah, I mean,
I saw that firsthand. That was bad.
actually, I was leaving the movie theater when that happened.
That was bad.
Yeah,
And then once it goes nationwide,
yeah. I mean,
which
it
it did.
gets a bad rep.
I mean, then with all the homicides and everybody saying Benton Harbor is the worst place, worst crime, then it just tears down from there. I mean, people start talking
Job
about
opportunities
Yeah,
will
no
go
one
on.
wants to come, so
Yep.
you have to have a community that, like you just said, wants to get along. Someone like him that's 18 years old does stuff. Kids can look up to this gentleman right here and thinking,
this is true.
damn, this man's doing everything. I can do all this stuff.
Yeah,
I can have
need
a
more
good.
positive role models like
Yeah,
that.
it's more. That's what it comes down to. It.
That's basically what it's boiling down
Yeah.
to. Need more positive role models. I mean, nowadays everybody's looking up to basketball players, football players, actresses, singers, things of that nature. But
Or you got to have the hypest things in the world. I mean, no, you don't. You don't need Jordans on your feet.
to be a role model, no, you don't.
No,
No, you don't.
you just need hey dudes.
So, who do you? I mean, as a role model, who do you have as a role model? I mean, I'm pretty sure you have a few of them in mind.
See, some role models of mine, I would have to say, I mean, Martin Luther King. I remember I used to, like in grade schools, I used to always like Gandhi and everything, but I don't know, I've been hearing bad stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
now a lot of stuff, a lot
He
of
has his good moments.
Yeah,
and
a lot
everybody
of
has their good and bad
a
moments.
lot of
I still like Gandhi. to
yeah,
this day.
even like a lot of leaders you kind of like looked up to. That now you're starting to hear like bad stuff, like he cheated on his wife, he did this, he did that, and like so.
Nobody's perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, you got to think of it that way as well. So I think those are some of my role models that I'll say I look up to. So.
That's good because a lot of people with me.
Where you go
No,
with that?
no, I was trying to find something to go with. Okay? Leave me alone, Joe. Oh man, this is Third Eye Truth Here podcast, guys. If you're listening, we're listening to Nicholas Gunn, a young man that's very active in the community. Look up him. Look him up on Facebook. Look up for his YouTube channel. And what's your website channel again?
My YouTube channel is Nick Eats, so NICK space EATS, or you could Google nickeats.org, and hopefully I'll pop up.
So, you're a firefighter on top of it. You're a volunteer, or
Yep, I'm a cadet. Volunteer.
You're a cadet?
Yeah, cadet, yeah.
so have you done anything like that?
I've
gone anywhere? Or
Yeah, I've been on fire scenes and different things. So I've taken my I passed my hands-on test, so now I just have to pass my written test, and then I'll be fully certified.
How stressful is that?
Uh,
As far as being a firefighter,
yeah,
that's a dangerous job.
yeah. I mean, I haven't been in any like dangerous predicaments yet, so
You should call him super.
yeah, I haven't been in anything dangerous yet. But I being able to look up to the firefighters that are on my department and see that they're great people who serve their community, and I just want to be someone like that. I'm like, man, like these people are putting their lives on the line, and I can't wait to be able to put my life on the line to save somebody, hopefully, and to be able to help somebody's family or do anything that I can to just help others. So
And then how'd you get into? Man, what made you get into that?
Yeah.
Firefighting.
I always wanted to be able to be in like a public safety type field,
Yeah.
and it was a class at our high school, and it was a chance for me to be able to get into that. So I thought, like, I'm gonna get into this, and so I decided to get into firefighting. And one of the captains were at one of our fire trainings, and he asked, like, hey, you live in St. Joe Township? And I was like, yeah, I live in St. Joe Township. And he was like, come on out and we can get you on the department and everything. So that went pretty good, and I've been there ever since.
All right.
So that was part of your course in Barron Springs.
Yep.
Was firefighter
Yep, it was a CTE class.
after school or during school?
During school, yep.
Really?
Yeah. CTE program.
I always wanted to like go and save people in a burning building and stuff like that, but I thought of it. I would never want to pursue it because
It's a little too much for me. Man. I'll tell you that much.
that's fire. That'll burn.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean that?
That'll burn. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll hurt.
Oh, hell yeah, it would. Oh, man. All right, let's get on to more topics now. We're going to get to one of the main topics I wanted to talk about, the incident that happened at the art fair. I saw it on the news. Joe showed me the clip of it. I was really intrigued on how you handled me. Not intrigued, but really impressed on how you handled that. A lot of people these days, we just go back and forth with words and maybe getting fist fights and make it more physical. When that happened to you, what was the first thing that went through your mind?
First thing that went through my mind was
Or if you can just explain.
Yeah.
First of all, let's just explain what happened for those that don't know.
yeah.
Explain what happened to you that day.
Yeah, so I was on an assignment to cover the art fair, take a few photos, interview a few artists that were at the art fair, and it was my first time. So that Friday night, I had just me and my friends, we from Barron Springs. They came down there to the block party. It was a Friday night block party, and we're playing games. We're meeting new people. Just pretty much having a great time. It was my first time down there, so it was super fun that first night. Then the next few days, I think it was that Saturday, I wasn't able to make it. So then it was on Sunday, I had some free time on my hands, so I was running late. I'm like, oh man, I got to hurry up and get these pictures. So I'm down there, and I'm down there. I'm taking pictures. I'm interviewing artists, and I get to this one artist, Chris Good. This artist who I think it was underwater photography. Yeah. So I get to his booth, and I'm getting up to the booth. I'm sizing up to take a picture, and he's on the top of a ladder, and he's like, hey, like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm taking pictures for the newspaper, and I'm interviewing artists. Like, are you somebody? Like, can I talk to you? And he was like, no. Like, who? Like, what are you doing? Like, you can't be here. And I'm like, yeah, like I have permission. Like, I can be here. And then he was like, okay, well, how about you get somebody down here from Krasel and say like who you are and like say if you can really be here or not.
You didn't think you had the right credentials
Yeah,
as far
yeah.
as being an interviewer or the people that
Yeah.
somebody's taking photos.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay, like and it was super, like the way the way he came off was super rude. Like I've had people ask me like, hey, like I don't want a picture taken of me, and I'm like, oh, no problem. Like I don't have a problem with not taking pictures of somebody.
Right.
So like it wasn't something that was too spectacular about his stuff that I'm like, oh, I gotta get this. Like
Yeah.
this. So I'm like, okay, I'll talk to somebody from Krasl, like no problem. But it's like, again, it wasn't like such a, like I have to get a picture of his stuff. Like let me rush down there from Krasl and get somebody. I'm like, okay, like no problem. So I just kept walking. And so about an hour later, I'm walking around talking to other people. I'm seeing other artists. I'm interviewing other artists. Even one artist did say like, hey, like I don't want any pictures taken of me or my art. And I'm like, okay. I went to the next booth. I'm interviewing other people. I'm talking to other people. I'm taking pictures. Like no problem. So about an hour passed by. I meet. I see someone from Krasl, and I'm like, hey, there's an artist down here saying that I'm not allowed to take pictures and everything. Could you come down there with me to say like we know who you are and we know that you have credentials to be here and everything. And so he's the guy, the volunteer. He told me like, no, it's all right. Just tell him like you spoke to somebody. It's fine that you can be here. We know who you are and everything. And I'm like, like no, like I want you to come. Like this guy was like aggressive kinda. And then but he was like, no, like it's all right. Like he was like busy doing something else. Like it was time to break down everything. Like it wasn't like the beginning of the Krasl Art Fair. It was time to break everything down. So he was busy, and I'm like, okay, like so I started walking the other way, taking my pictures, pretty much heading back to my car. But I was gonna talk to the artist again just to say like, hey, that like they said it's okay, like just so like if he thought I had took a pictures already, like he know like who I am. And so I ended up walking back down there, still talking to other artists, taking more pictures, interviewing other people, and I get back to his booth, and I didn't see him there actually. So I had somebody who was standing in front of his booth stop me, and they started talking about like the Bible and everything to me. He started talking about like his Bible. He does Bible studies in one of the county jails. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like, I do Bible studies too. So he gave me his business card. He's talking about his different Bible studies, and we're talking, showing love to one another. He's showing me he travels different places, and he loves talking about God and everything. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. So then the artist, he comes back like from out of nowhere. He came from like out of his booth or whatever. And I say like, hey, like he comes up to me, and we walk up to one another, and I'm under his booth at this time. And I said, hey, someone from the Krasl. They said, like, one of the volunteers said that it's okay, like, they know who I am and everything. And he was like, he stepped up to me, and like, he's like, if you take a picture, it's gonna get real ugly for you, like. And I'm like, wow, I kind of wanted like what's ugly gonna be? Like, I'm like, that's what I'm thinking. I'm just here to take pictures. So I'm like, okay. So I step back. Like, I'm not trying to be COVID still. Like, so I step back, and I'm still like, you can talk to somebody else. Like, they said I can take pictures. He's getting in my face, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pose like I'm about to take a picture of the art. And then, like, he smacks my camera. He starts cussing at me, calls me the N-word, and, like, I'm still, like, I'm, like, shocked. Like, I'm, like wow, like, that somebody would act like this in public. Yeah. And he's getting loud. He's making a lot of noise. And then some artists from around me, like from the other booths, they end up coming up to me, circling around me. They're pushing me. They're putting their hands on me. They're cussing at me.
I mean, more people came?
Yeah, more. They joined him.
Join him?
Yeah, join him. And they're yelling at me. They're cussing at me. Then I eventually ended up saying, like, hey, like, just, you can call the police or something. Like, I actually had seen the police chief earlier from, like, he was just, like, sitting in one of the squad cars. And I was like, I don't know if he's seen me, but I saw him, and I was going to just wave at him. and I didn't see him. I don't know if he saw me or not. So I was like, well, I saw the police chief down there earlier about an hour ago. So let's just call the police. Like, I'm like, or you could just walk down there and just get him. And he was like, okay, you come with me. And I'm like, I'm not walking with you. Like, you're not just gonna like boss me around, tell me what to do or anything. So he's like, he's still being rude. They're all yelling at me. They're cussing at me. One lady, she was on her bike. So I was helping her earlier when I walked down there. She needed help like on her phone, like scanning QR codes. And I see her everywhere. And she's like telling the people like, hey, like stop, like that's Mr. Ben Harvey, don't touch him. Don't like.
So one person actually stood up for you.
Yeah, one person. She was trying to tell people like stop, like we all know he takes pictures everywhere. He's a reporter and everything. They didn't believe her. So the police end up coming. They're still yelling at me, cussing at me, pushing me in front of the cop. They hit my camera in front of the cop. Cop didn't do anything.
Wow.
The police chief, he ended up coming. He tells them that I am a reporter. I'm a journalist. They didn't believe me still. I pulled out my ID. I showed everybody. They still said, we don't care. You're not a journalist. They're still cussing at me and everything. So at that point, I'm like, okay, like there's no way of persuading them. And I mean, I really wasn't trying to talk to them anyway. Like how. I can't win a yelling match. I'm not going to win a yelling argument with somebody. So I'm like, it's just best that I leave. So I'm walking on my way out, and one of the guys which I did want to stay because I live in this area. I asked the chief. I'm like, hey, Kyle, like, you think I could stay like 3 more minutes with you guys to be here and let me cover this? And they're like this guy's gonna have a heart attack. Like he's really in an uproar about you being here. So I'm like, okay, I'll leave. And
so the cops didn't even back you.
Yeah. So
wow.
Yeah.
To go with who was recording, because it is on video for half the scenario you just said on the news that happened that weekend.
Yeah.
Who was recording behind you? Or were you one of your friends, or were you recording?
I was recording. Yeah.
You're recording on your phone?
On my camera.
On your camera?
Yeah.
So that's from your camera, all the stuff they were doing? Because, what you're saying, it really did happen.
Yeah.
You could see it on, I think, ABC News and Channel 16 News.
Yep.
I mean, they covered it all.
Yeah.
And
that's embarrassing.
the two cops that did approach you, it's in the video. They're two young, they're two young kids that were walking down the sidewalk. So they didn't come up. There was no older gentleman. So I hate to say it like this, for this cops that did show up, they probably didn't know what to really do with this whole big crowd atmosphere too, though.
Break it up. Man,
But they should have done something, or protected him a little bit, because he's the one that's getting her more harassed.
Yeah,
So.
you got people surrounding him,
Yeah.
pushing him, cursing at him,
Yeah. And
just for taking pictures and doing
But
it.
at least the chief of police backed you up, and they didn't believe him.
Yeah.
But with the whole recording and what happened to you, how did it make you really feel, though?
Yeah.
I mean, did it make you like kind of bummed? Like these people are really are like this?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I mean, one lady was like, the guy, she's like, in the video, she like grabs her husband, like, don't hit him and stuff like that and everything. And she was yelling like, you're entitled. This is why we need Trump back and everything. I'm thinking like the whole thing was like so confusing to me. Like, I'm like, why are they acting this, this so much in the uproar about like a kid taking pictures and everything? And I just thought like after this event, I was thinking like, if these were older black gentlemen and I was a white female, a young 18-year-old white girl, and the cops would have come to that scene, those black guys would have ended up dead.
Or probably in jail.
Or in jail. Yeah. Like I'm like
That's a tough call. Around here, I really don't know what would. I mean,
well,
cops
that's
around
something to
here.
think about. You think about
It
it.
is.
If it was a different scenario, just like you said, the artists were black, and a young white female we don't want you to take pictures. They would start pushing and cursing at and calling her name. It would have been a totally different situation.
Yeah, I will say it would be a totally different situation. So now, to follow up on that, what happened? This was Friday, right?
I think no, this was Sunday night.
Sunday night when it was all over.
Yeah, it was about 5 or 6.
So what happened now? So what
Yeah.
happens with you and this guy and everything else? Well, what's the outcome?
yeah, I mean, I pretty much I end up walking away and everything. I mean, they still are yelling, cussing. I don't even think they noticed I was gone. Like they're still like, he needs to leave. Like I was at my car, like probably 50 yards behind everything. And I still hear them yelling and cussing. I'm like, do they know I'm gone? Like, and they're still yelling and cussing. And then they ended up, they said the director ended up coming down there while they're still in an uproar, and like they end up banning them from ever coming back, and they had to get a police report of how bad they're acting, and I was gone. Like I left the area. I'm like, I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna say
They banned him. He can't come back.
Yeah.
And now actually, I heard they're trying to ban him in other events
Yeah.
that he's going to be at. So this will never happen. Just not at this one,
Yeah.
but at other ones in the near future.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there are stupid people out there that are like that. I apologize for anything that happened to you in this town for you. It had to be kind of, what's the word? Not traumatic. Yeah, traumatic,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
To have
it-
to have that atmosphere
That had
happen
to
to
be.
you, but you're pulling it off pretty damn well right now.
Yeah.
Thinking you brush it off because you know who the type person you are, and yeah, everybody else around that was just, I hate to say it, dumb.
Yeah.
I tell you what, way to stand your ground,
It was.
and also way to go on the, just taking it and walking away from it, because it could have got worse if you would have like started being aggressive yourself.
James probably decked a guy.
No, I wouldn't. Man, I would do the same thing. I wouldn't have actually been aggressive.
Yeah.
You know, as long as you mean.
I mean, if they pushed you,
Just, yeah.
I mean, your
Yeah.
age, your age now, you not back then when you were 18.
That would have been different.
No, you got to think when you were 18, what would you do when you were 18 and this was going down? You can't put your
Well,
age in now.
Yeah, but back then, it was a little tougher too, man. I tell you what.
No, the James that's 18, not back then. You're 18. Well, if you're 18, you're in his shoes right then and there. 18 years old. How would you react?
I would have probably been more leaning towards the fight at 18. Because, I mean, like I said, back in when I was 18, it was what, the 90s? Early 90s, 91?
Yeah, something like
Yeah, I'm old.
Yeah.
But yeah, then you didn't have social media. All you had was, I mean, word of mouth, right?
Yeah.
Now this, I mean, the whole situation, how would it handle it? Probably been totally different way he handled it. I probably got involved. I probably been in jail.
Yeah.
Tell you the truth.
that. Yeah, I would probably be in jail too. No offense to me. You back me up in a corner, then you put your hands on me like you said. A couple of them pushed you and called me different names. Yeah, I get kind of offensive. Even when I hear other people calling other people offensive, I jump in and try to say, whoa, where'd that come from?
Yeah.
Why are you even bringing that up? Why are you even calling people names?
Yeah.
I said,
Well, the N word was more prevalent.
yeah.
Then.
You said it was named twice or a couple times. The
Yeah,
guy said
yeah,
it. So,
yeah.
and that atmosphere, I'm stepping up to you. You handled it. God, I wouldn't even handle it that way.
Like a gentleman.
Like a gentleman.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, I'm gonna walk away from this. I'll go to my car. I'll leave. And I know you probably wanted to go back and do some more filming and taping, but
yeah.
Couch gave you the hey, probably not a good idea.
Yeah. So and yeah, I mean, like it's also like I wanna be looked at as a certain, like I want to be looked at like as a leader in our area. And I don't want somebody to be like this is somebody who you guys are calling like a leader. And he's fighting at an art fair. Like he's throwing hands at an art fair, and he's supposed to be a nice guy. He's supposed to be teaching and everything. And I mean, I was really just thinking like I probably have more to lose than him if he's acting this way. He wants a reaction out of me, and I mean,
Exactly. Yeah,
again,
you could give him that.
yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. Like I try to tell people like it's always about your reaction to things, and don't let anybody have the power to control what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Don't let somebody have the power to get a reaction out of you.
Oh,
Why are you hitting stuff over there? again?
sorry, man.
So, to kind of follow up on that whole thing, do you think the cops did the right thing, or do you think they should have stepped up and did a little bit more? I hate to ask that, but I have to. I mean, it would be the meaning of.
At the time, I thought they did do the right. I mean, I went away like at that moment. I was like, I mean, like I'm alive still. Like that's how I was thinking, and I'm like, well, I'm here. I think the cops did an okay job, and like at that moment, I had called someone, and I was like, hey, we need to. I should write a letter thanking them for like how they handled the situation.
Really?
Like, yeah, I seriously, I called someone and I was telling them the story, and I was like,
man, it sounded like you were in the wrong.
yeah.
Wow, you're not in the wrong.
Yeah, I was like, I think I should write them a letter saying like thank them for how they handled, they let me go and everything, and they didn't like put me in handcuffs or anything. I was thinking about like writing the letter.
Okay, I see where you're going with that.
Even at the end of the video, I had put like a thank you to like the cops who showed up. Like, but then like later on, when I look at the video, like, and I actually like process it, and I'm like, dang, like I was the one. I was in harm's way. I was the one getting pushed on and cussed at.
Yeah.
People twice, 3 times my age are in my face, cussing at me, yelling at me, calling me names, and they didn't.
And it's not like you're dressed inappropriate.
No.
I mean, it's not like you were wearing baggy pants or some backwards hat like some like I would wear. But thanks, I just employed myself. But I mean, you weren't being rude or anything. In that whole video that I saw, you weren't rude at all. You pretty much just took the blunt end of it and took it.
Yeah.
Someone like that's short fused. I don't think I could handle. I don't know how I could handle it.
I think you could.
No, I couldn't.
I mean, nowadays I would have did the same thing. I would just have walked away. Had to walk away because I mean, you never know what can happen or what people's intentions are if you retaliate in anger.
Well, I'm not going to retaliate in anger, but I'm going to
I
say
probably
I'm
would.
going to keep.
I
I'm
probably
going
would have said something.
to say a lot of stuff to these people.
Yeah, I probably would have said something.
He didn't even say anything in the video. He just kept saying, "I'm just a reporter. I'm just taking pictures." I mean, you were just being polite, and you weren't raising your voice. You weren't cussing. You weren't nothing. You were
It takes a bigger person to do
that
that.
atmosphere. Yeah, for at 18.
Yeah, it takes a bigger person to do that than that to actually be aggressive. You know, being aggressive sometimes gets you in a bad situation, or worse situation than you probably intended in the first
I
place.
told my friends about that. They'll probably come back and with stuff and.
Or
that guy's-
even my friends were and said, "Hey, why don't you push back?" And that would probably cause more trouble, more problems, and who knows where that would have led to. You know, somebody would got hurt. You know, it could have been anything. Anything.
And also,
Simple words.
Yeah, I think I was outnumbered. It was about 6 of them.
6 to 1.
Yeah, 6 to 1.
Just one, and those odds are never safe.
Even when I was talking to the Krauser director, and I don't know how this conversation went up, but the question was like, do you think you're the only black person there? And I was like, when I got there, to be honest, like I only seen like one other black person. The whole, but I'm thinking, you got to think about like, you are the only black person in this area, and you're outnumbered. You don't see anybody like you, and that's why people don't go to St. Joe. Black people don't go to St. Joe. They're told that you don't go there. You don't cross that river. You don't cross the bridge. Today, I was having lunch at Andrews, and I was sitting with a professor, and they're saying, I know you probably told the story. Like they people know me from that. Some people know me before that this incident happened. And they're like telling me like, I've heard so many great things about you. Like before you got accepted here, and you seem like such a nice guy. And they're like, but I know you're probably tired of telling the story. Like, can you tell them like what all happened at the the art fair, and I'm like, yeah. I go ahead and tell them about it and everything, and they're like, I moved here in 2002, and people always told me like, they're black, they're a black professor, and they're telling me like, people always told me don't go to St. Joe, like, and they're new to this area. People say don't go to St. Joe, you're black, like they don't want you there. She told me about she's a chapel, she's a professor, and she was telling me that a black doctor who was also a professor there, and he ended up buying a home in St. Joseph, and she told me that they put like burning crosses in his yard at multiple times, which he ended up moving. And she was like saying like, no matter how successful you are and you try and move out there, have a home, not have a home to serve and live and keep your family up in a good home, and just to have people want to kick you out because you're a different skin color than them, and they don't want you there. So
Well, with that happening, I mean, luckily those people are from out of town. Probably most of them were. Anyway. And that doesn't actually reflect on St. Joe, but at the same time, I know how that is. I know how that is. It goes back to the 90s when I was a teenager. A young man, Eric, what was his last name? You don't know what I'm talking about? Why are you not talking on the microphone?
Sorry, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Eric McGinnis, that's who it was. Went to one of the local clubs down here at 18 years old. Had a white girlfriend. Unfortunately, he was breaking into someone's car, right? And seriously, I mean, this is serious though.
I know, but I was
No,
it's kind of funny how you're going with that story, but then
the thing that somebody caught him and he started running and people started chasing him. They found the man in the river 5 days later. 5 days later, and the people that actually did it got away with it.
didn't they just bring that back up?
Yeah, I mean, it was an anniversary this year. It was an anniversary this year, 30-year anniversary of a man him dying, and I saw something, a clipping in the paper that one of the judges was the district attorney at that point. Not district attorney, maybe one of the attorneys.
I think it was his son that.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was the son that. If I remember correctly, I know the story. I didn't know much about it, but it was like the kid that did it
Told someone else.
was a district
Well, he's
attorney's
dead.
dad or.
Oh, no, well, this is the clipping I saw in the paper that one of the DAs didn't want to start a race war, so he withheld some of the evidence that was brought to him. And that's a sad thing to say, because when you get something like that happening and you cover it up, and then years later he wants to tell the truth. Me personally, I think that and he's a judge now. Me personally, I think that guy should be disbarred from law, whatever the case may be, because you could have gave that evidence that soothe the pain for his family that lost him. Now, like I said, him breaking in the car, that's not good. That's not good for him. But the case is still, you don't kill somebody for that.
Nah, I
You know what I mean? It's just it's a bad thing to do to anybody. I mean, on any side of the river, you shouldn't be that way.
It's kind of sad that they're telling this kid that's 18, telling this kid, do not come to St. Joe, though. That's that's kind of.
I don't have a problem here. I don't have a problem here at all.
It shouldn't be the color of your skin that matters who you are. It's just how you. It's like we were going back on how can we make Benton Harbor better. It goes back to how you were raised, where you come from, and everything else comes down to it. I mean,
yeah.
hate's hate. I mean,
Yeah.
why hate things?
Yeah, I talked about 3 people today, and they all said like don't go to St. Joe. Like,
Yeah, I know.
Today I'm
shocked.
Even today, like I talked to I was at the Benton Harbor Farmers Market, and somebody was telling me I'm 75 years old and I don't go to St. Joe to this day. I won't they won't get a dime of my money in St. Joe.
See, I'm shocked they have that farmers market on Wednesday though, but that's yeah. I understand that guy said that to you, and he's 75. That still ain't right. I mean, give it it's just a place. People always said, "Do you hate the town you live in?" I said, "No, I just sometimes I don't like the people in the town.
Yeah.
Town's a place. The place didn't do anything to me. It's the people in that town that pretty much mess it up for you."
Yeah, even I told one of my advisors that I didn't want to, because we had like a field trip today for like the new students, like it's part of orientation to go to the beach, get Silver Beach pizza and everything, and I was like, yeah, I was like, I don't want to go to St. Like all today, people been, it's not like it wasn't like a planned thing. Like I'll get a random call like don't go to St. Joe. I'll be walking in the street or somebody be like, that's like, I heard about the crowds. Like, that's why you don't go over there. We told you. And then
One incident.
right.
All it takes is one
Yeah, we
incident.
brought in St. Joe.
Yeah. And I'm telling my advisor, I was like, I don't know if I want to go. Then he was like, well, it's up to you. We want you to be there.
Yeah.
It'll be a great experience that somebody like you is able to talk to like these new people from all over the world, and this is what you call home, and we can have you be there to tell them about this community that you love and that you grew up in. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna go out there, and I drove my roommate up to the beach. I showed him around, showed him a few of the art pieces in the area, and he had a good time, and so that was great. I had a good time. So.
It's just a town. I mean, you can go to any town and you're gonna find that one person that just makes it the worst town in the world. I mean,
Yeah. That's unfortunate, man, but keep doing what you're doing, man.
I mean, yeah,
Keep it, a positive thought on me and everybody.
you're
Even
an
if you
awesome kid, actually.
Even if you get negative feedback from anybody, just go about your business the way you've been doing it. That's my advice to you, because there are good people in this town that do care,
Man,
and for that to happen to you that's unfortunate, and I don't wish that on anybody. Don't wish it on anybody. I don't only want that from both sides. Don't do that to people. People are people, and you inherently know that if someone's good or not.
Yeah.
You know how to stay away from the bad. So that, with that being said, that's how I feel about it.
I mean, it's a good way of looking at it. I mean, for him, he just needs to stay who he is and stay true, and just be you. I mean, it doesn't matter what people say to you, tell you. Just brush it off like you have been, and that's awesome feeling for you. I mean, I'm more impressed that you're 18 years old. You already know that. All the stuff you achieve already, that's more amazing in my life.
I'm sure there's more to come for you in your life.
Yeah, and no offense, I hate to say this, I don't know what the hell political engineering is. I know what engineering is, but I don't know what political engineering is.
Political science.
Political science?
Yeah, political science.
That's what most politicians get into before
Like
they.
pre-laws.
Yeah.
People who go into
okay.
pre-law, they usually take political science. Like
So, do you have any political aspirations?
yeah,
Eventually?
a little bit. I want to kind of be go get into politics, but I also want to do teaching. So I'm changing my major today. I think I officially changed it to to social studies.
Yeah.
So it'll be able to have me be a social studies teacher and teach on a broader.
You might be talking to the next mayor of Benton Harbor.
Yeah.
There's something, man. To make a change in this place, man.
Yeah.
That's the
Hey,
thing we need.
you asked how we can change Benton Harbor. Here we go.
There we go.
You could be-
If you see this guy's name on the ballot, Mr.
21.
Nicholas
You could be 21 years old
Please
and
give this
be
man
the
a
mayor.
vote.
Yeah.
This man is deserving of it. Very, very fair, very humble, and very kind to people of all walks and colors. Doesn't matter.
Hell yeah, I'll go for him.
I'm right with you, man.
I can't even vote in Benton Harbor. But I'll go for him.
Or just mean
Man.
it doesn't even matter. You want to go higher than that. I mean, start Benton Harbor's. Not just Benton Harbor. Any
you gotta have
place.
stepping stone. You gotta have
It's a stepping stone.
Yeah.
Make a change somewhere, and then make it much bigger than that.
start on a board or somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Move up, be a board of it, then all of a sudden
Yeah.
run for city commissioners, and
Run
then
for St. Joe mayor.
Yeah.
no offense,
Change the landscape of this place.
I still think city commissioners run the whole entire towns.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Oh.
The mayor is just a show of face. Who's the mayor?
Yeah.
Well, we put a good. I think it's over an hour in. All right, Nicholas.
We are now, yeah.
Anything you want to say to the viewers before you leave? Sign off here.
Yeah. Again, hope you guys have a great day. The rest of your night. Show love. Be a wrecking force of positivity and a world changer.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you guys
guys.
for
We're
inviting
going to
me.
wrap this up. The Third Eye Truth Theorem podcast. Joe, where you going? Oh, you'll turn it off. Okay, never mind. I can't do a man on you anymore. Once again, I thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule and doing this interview with us. It's much appreciated. Maybe we'll get you back sometime soon.
Oh, for sure. For
Yeah?
sure. Yeah,
All right.
Anytime.
All right.
I would like to talk to that one lady that he said, the advisor that was talking about St. Joe at Harvard.
Oh, the dissertation, the PhD?
Dissertation of
Oh, yeah.
her aspect
I
of
actually was on.
Tri-county
I,
type stuff.
I actually was gonna ask her to come, but she had called me and she was like asking me like if I was gonna be in downtown Ben Harbor today, and she was gonna try and interview some people. So yeah, for sure. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good.
She's a great. She's a great.
Once
great
again,
person.
anything to help bring more awareness to communities that's surrounding Berrien County, it's great to me. All right, guys, we're going to sign off. I thank you guys, whoever was listening. Thank you for listening. Thank Nicholas Gunn coming in tonight. Thank Joe Hill for helping out again. We are signing off. Good night, guys.